All right, so we're prepping for a chemical plant manager interview.
Oh, wow.
That's a big step.
Huge.
And we've got a stack of resources here from RoleCatcher to help us kind of unpack this and figure out how to approach it.
Right.
We've got career guides, we've got interview guides, and even some AI tools that can give you an edge in this process.
Absolutely.
So let's just dive right in, I guess.
Yeah, let's do it.
This is a deep dive that will hopefully equip you not just to survive the interview, but to really understand this role
For sure.
and this industry.
Absolutely.
So before we even tackle those tricky questions, what exactly does a chemical plant manager do?
Well,
The RoleCatcher guide makes it sound like a pretty demanding gig.
it is. It's essentially the conductor of a complex orchestra. You're overseeing the daily production of chemical products.
Right.
You're making sure that everything's running smoothly and efficiently.
Okay.
But it's not just about keeping the machines humming. You're also responsible for maintaining equipment, ensuring safety compliance, and protecting the environment.
Wow, that's a lot of responsibility.
Exactly. And on top of that, you're managing budgets, you're setting industrial objectives, and even representing the company at times.
Oh, wow.
It's a role that requires strong leadership technical expertise and a deep understanding of the industry.
Okay, I'm starting to see why this interview is a big deal.
For sure.
So let's dive into some of those questions.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher has provided some common ones, and I'm kind of curious to hear your take on how to approach them.
Let's do it.
The first one is, tell us about your experience working in a chemical plant.
Okay.
Seems straightforward enough, but I bet there's a little more to it than meets the eye.
Absolutely. While it might seem basic, this is really your chance to make a strong first impression and demonstrate that you speak their language.
Okay.
Don't just list your previous jobs. Really weave a narrative that highlights specific duties, responsibilities, and projects that really align with the job that you're after.
Gotcha.
And a key tip here is to use industry-specific terms confidently. So, for instance, if you've worked with DCS systems, don't just say that you managed control systems. Say, I have extensive experience with distributed control systems, specifically in optimizing process parameters for maximum efficiency and safety.
So it's not just about knowing the terminology, but understanding the nuances of its application.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
And don't forget to quantify your achievements whenever possible. So instead of saying you improved safety protocols, try, I implemented a new safety training program that reduced accidents by 15%.
Right.
Numbers speak volumes.
Yeah, they do for sure.
Yeah.
Now, what about follow-up questions? I feel like they could easily dig deeper into your specific experiences
Right.
or, projects you've worked on.
They could ask about challenges you faced, how you overcame them, or any specific projects that really demonstrate your skills and expertise. So be prepared to elaborate with concrete examples, showcasing your problem-solving abilities and your ability to think on your feet.
Okay.
So, for example, they might say, can you tell us about a time you had to troubleshoot a complex process issue? What steps did you take and what was the outcome?
Okay, so be prepared to go beyond the surface level
For sure.
and really demonstrate that you've got the knowledge and the experience.
Right.
Okay, let's move on to question number 2. This one is, how do you ensure compliance with safety regulations in your plant?
Okay.
Safety is obviously paramount in this industry.
Absolutely. And this question goes beyond simply knowing the regulations. It's about demonstrating a proactive approach to building a safety culture.
Okay.
So when you answer, showcase your knowledge of specific regulations like OSHA standards or EPA guidelines, but also highlight your experience in implementing protocols and strategies that really go above and beyond mere compliance.
So it's not just about ticking boxes.
Exactly.
It's about really fostering that mindset of safety throughout the plant.
For sure.
Okay.
So think about examples where you went above and beyond regulatory requirements.
Okay.
Did you implement a behavior-based safety program? Did you introduce new technologies or systems to enhance safety monitoring? So for instance, you could say in my previous role, I implemented a near-miss reporting system that allowed us to identify and address potential hazards before they resulted in accidents.
Right.
This proactive approach led to a significant reduction in recordable incidents.
Wow. That's a powerful example. It shows you're not just following the rules,
Right.
but you're actually looking for ways to improve.
Exactly.
Okay. And I imagine they could also ask you to describe a specific time when you had to address a safety violation.
Absolutely. Be prepared to share a specific situation, the steps that you took, and the outcome, emphasizing your commitment to holding everyone accountable for safety.
Okay, that's really helpful.
All right.
Let's move on to question number 3. How do you manage production schedules and ensure timely delivery of products?
Yeah.
And I know time is money in any industry,
for sure.
But I imagine it's especially crucial in a chemical plant.
Absolutely. Efficient production scheduling is vital, and they'll really want to see that you understand the intricacies of managing such a complex process. So be prepared to discuss your experience with production planning, scheduling software, and strategies for meeting those deadlines. They might also ask about specific methodologies like lean manufacturing or Six Sigma.
Oh, what?
So brushing up on those would be beneficial.
So showcasing that technical proficiency
Exactly.
in production management.
Right. You could say something like, I've utilized software like Aspen PIMS to optimize production schedules and minimize downtime,
Okay.
resulting in a 10% increase in on-time deliveries.
Now that's impressive.
Yes.
It combines technical knowledge with concrete results.
Right.
And I imagine you should also be prepared to talk about, your experience with managing inventory, coordinating with suppliers, anticipating potential bottlenecks.
Be ready to delve into those nitty-gritty details of production management.
And this is where I feel like maybe some of those industry certifications that RoleCatcher mentioned could come in handy.
Definitely certifications like CPIM or CSCP demonstrate a commitment to professional development and your deep understanding of supply chain and production management principles.
Awesome. Okay. I'm noticing a pattern here. It's not just about what you know.
Right.
It's about how you apply that knowledge to achieve tangible results.
Exactly.
All right, let's tackle question number 4. How do you motivate and manage your team to meet production goals?
Okay.
This is all about leadership.
It absolutely is. They want to see that you can not only manage processes, but lead and inspire people.
Okay.
So think about your management style and how you create a positive and productive work environment. Do you prioritize open communication? Do you delegate effectively? Are you skilled at providing constructive feedback?
So it's about showing that you're not just a boss, but a leader that can really bring out the best in your team.
Exactly. Share specific examples that highlight your approach. So you could say something like, I believe in empowering my team by providing them with clear goals, the resources they need, and the autonomy to make decisions. I also foster a culture of open communication and feedback, which allows us to address challenges collaboratively and celebrate successes together.
Yeah, I can see how that kind of leadership style would create a motivated and engaged team.
Absolutely.
I bet they'll probably ask about a specific time where your team faced a setback and how you kind of rallied them and turned things around.
Absolutely. Have a story prepared about that. What did you learn from that experience?
Okay, so resilience and the ability to learn from challenges.
Exactly.
Now, before we move on, I want to touch on something that RoleCatcher mentioned, and that's their AI-powered interview prep tool.
Oh, that's a fantastic tool. It's like having a personal interview coach right in your pocket.
Oh, wow.
You can practice answering a wide range of questions that are tailored to specific job roles and get AI-powered feedback on your responses.
So it can analyze your answers and suggest ways to improve your delivery, your content, even your body language.
Exactly. It can help you identify areas where you might be rambling using weak language or maybe not highlighting your key accomplishments effectively.
Okay.
It's an invaluable resource for refining your interview skills and really building that confidence.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It sounds like it can really give you an edge, especially in a challenging role like this.
Absolutely. And it's not just about prepping for specific questions. It's about understanding the underlying principles of effective communication and tailoring your responses to the specific company and role that you're applying for.
Okay. Definitely going to have to check that out. Now back to the questions. Question number 5. How do you stay up to date on industry trends and advancements in technology?
Okay.
This one seems pretty straightforward.
It might seem that way, but it's really an opportunity to showcase your commitment to continuous learning and your passion for the industry. So don't just say you read industry journals, be specific.
Right.
Mention publications like Chemical and Engineering News or Chemical Engineering Progress. Talk about conferences you've attended or professional organizations you're a member of. Okay.
Such as the American Institute of Chemical Engineers, AICE.
So really demonstrating that you're actively engaged in the industry and committed to staying at the forefront of your field.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And don't just list resources. Talk about what you've learned and how you've actually applied that knowledge to your work.
Yeah.
So, for example, you could say, I recently attended a webinar on the latest advancements in process safety management, and I've started implementing some of those best practices in our current safety protocols.
Okay, so you're not just passively consuming information.
Right.
You're actively seeking ways to improve and innovate.
Exactly.
Now, I bet they might ask you about specific trends that you're watching.
Absolutely. Be prepared to discuss emerging technologies, sustainability initiatives, or any other trends that are relevant to the role that you're applying for.
Okay.
This demonstrates that you're not only knowledgeable about the present, but you're thinking about the future of the industry.
Right, so you're forward thinking.
Okay, so it's all about showing them that you're a forward-thinking professional who's committed to continuous learning and growth. All right, let's tackle question number 6. How do you handle conflicts or difficult situations with team members or other stakeholders?
Okay.
Conflict resolution is a crucial skill in any leadership role,
Absolutely.
but I imagine it's especially important in a high-pressure environment, like a chemical plant.
You're right. They want to see that you can navigate challenging interpersonal situations effectively and maintain a positive and productive work environment. And remember, it's not about winning the conflict. It's about finding solutions that benefit everyone involved.
So being a mediator, not a dictator.
Precisely when answering this question, highlight your approach to conflict resolution, emphasizing active listening, empathy, and a collaborative mindset.
And they're probably looking for specific examples here too, right?
Absolutely. Be prepared to share a story about a time you successfully resolved a conflict, outlining your role, the steps you took, and the positive outcome. So, for instance, you could say, I once had to mediate a disagreement between two team members who had different approaches to a particular project. I facilitated a conversation where each person could express their perspective and concerns, and then we brainstormed solutions together and ultimately came up with a compromise that satisfied both parties and benefited the project as a whole.
That's a great example. It shows you can create a space for open dialogue.
Exactly.
And you can find those win-win solutions.
Right. And it's okay to acknowledge that conflict can be uncomfortable,
Uh-huh.
but emphasize that you approach these situations as opportunities for growth and learning.
All right, let's move on to question number 7. Can you describe a time when you had to make a difficult decision with limited information?
Okay.
This one seems particularly challenging,
It can be.
especially in such a fast-paced environment where every decision can have significant consequences.
Absolutely. But it's also a chance to really showcase your analytical skills, your ability to think critically under pressure, and your willingness to take calculated risks.
Okay.
So choose a specific situation where you had to make a tough call with incomplete data and really walk them through your thought process.
So being transparent by your decision-making process,
That's
even when the situation was less than ideal.
Right. Describe how you gathered information, how you weighed the risks and benefits and the factors you considered in making your decision.
Yep.
And don't be afraid to discuss the outcome, even if it wasn't perfect. What matters is that you demonstrate your ability to learn from your experiences and make informed decisions, even in challenging circumstances.
Yeah, I could see how that kind of transparency and self-awareness would be really valuable in a leadership role.
It absolutely is. They want to see that you can handle pressure, make tough calls, and learn from both your successes and your mistakes.
All right, that's incredibly insightful. Now, before we move on to the next set of questions, I want to kind of circle back to RoleCatcher's AI tools, and specifically their CV and resume builder.
Oh, yeah. That's a game changer for tailoring your application to specific job roles.
How does that work exactly?
You can upload your existing resume, and the AI will analyze it against the specific job description that you're targeting. It then suggests improvements, highlights relevant skills and experience, and even helps you optimize the language and formatting to make your application really stand out.
So it's like having a personal career coach
Absolutely.
who knows exactly what hiring managers are looking for.
Exactly. It's a fantastic resource for ensuring that your application is tailored to the specific requirements of each job that you apply for.
Wow. I'm really impressed with RoleCatcher's approach to helping candidates succeed. All right, let's dive back into those questions. Up next is, how do you ensure that your plant is operating in an environmentally sustainable way? Sustainability is a hot topic these days,
Right.
and I imagine it's especially important in the chemical industry.
You're absolutely right. Companies are increasingly looking for leaders who prioritize environmental responsibility. And this question is really your chance to demonstrate your commitment to sustainable practices.
So it's not just about knowing the regulations, it's about going above and beyond to minimize the plant's environmental impact.
Exactly. Be prepared to discuss specific initiatives that you've implemented, such as waste reduction programs, energy efficiency measures, or the adoption of cleaner technologies.
Okay.
And be sure to quantify your achievements whenever possible. So instead of saying, I implemented a recycling program, try, I spearheaded a recycling initiative that reduced landfill waste by 20%.
Right.
Numbers make your accomplishments tangible and memorable.
Yeah, that's a great point. And they might also ask about specific environmental challenges facing the chemical industry
Absolutely.
and how you think companies should be addressing them.
Right. Be prepared to discuss topics like carbon emissions, water usage, and waste management. This really shows that you're aware of that broader sustainability landscape and that you're thinking critically about the industry's role in environmental stewardship.
So it's about demonstrating both your practical experience
Yes,
and your big picture understanding of sustainability issues.
exactly.
Okay. All right, let's tackle the final question in this set from RoleCatcher. Can you describe a time when you had to manage a crisis situation in your plant?
Okay.
This one sounds a little intense.
It can be, but it's also an opportunity to really shine as a calm and collected leader. They want to see how you handle pressure, how you make critical decisions, and how you lead your team through challenging situations.
So what kind of story should someone share for a question like this?
Well, choose a specific situation where you had to manage a crisis, whether it was a safety incident, an equipment failure, or even an environmental incident. Detail the situation, your response, the steps you took to mitigate that impact, and the outcome. And really focus on your leadership skills. How did you communicate with your team? How did you coordinate resources? And how did you remain calm and decisive under pressure?
And I imagine they're going to be looking for lessons learned as well.
Absolutely. What could you have done better? How did this experience inform your approach to crisis management?
Okay.
Demonstrating your ability to reflect on your experiences and continuously improve is really key here.
This has been incredibly helpful. We've covered a lot of ground,
Yes, we have.
from those tricky interview questions to some really valuable insights into what it takes to be a successful chemical plant manager.
Absolutely, and we've just scratched the surface.
Oh, wow.
In the next part of our deep dive, we'll delve into RoleCatcher's Career Guide, exploring career paths, professional development opportunities, and strategies for building a successful career in this exciting industry.
Okay, I can't wait. Stay tuned because we've got even more great information coming your way.
We do. Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of chemical plant managers. So we've tackled those tough interview questions. Right. But now let's kind of shift gears a little and explore the bigger picture, your career path.
Okay, so you ace the interview, you land the job.
Right.
What's next?
Well,
RoleCatcher's Career Guide has some fascinating insights into career progression, continuous learning, and how to really make your work stand out.
right. And what's interesting is that this role isn't a dead end.
Oh,
It can be a springboard to even bigger opportunities.
okay.
Think senior management positions, leading larger teams, maybe even directing multiple plants or heading up a research and development department.
Well,
You know, your leadership journey is just beginning.
that's exciting. So how do you climb that ladder?
Wow.
Is it just about time on the job, or are there specific things that you can do to kind of accelerate your growth?
Experience is valuable, of course.
Yeah.
But continuous learning is really key.
Okay.
Remember those certifications we mentioned earlier?
Yes.
Six Sigma, Green Belt Certified Safety Professional, Certified Quality Engineer.
Ah.
These aren't just letters after your name. They demonstrate a commitment to excellence and expertise in really crucial areas.
Right.
They show potential employers that you're dedicated to staying ahead of the curve.
So it's like leveling up your skills.
Exactly.
But how do you choose which certifications are right for you?
Right.
And how do you even find the time to pursue them with such a demanding job?
Well, RoleCatcher's Guide actually breaks down the most relevant certifications for chemical plant managers.
Okay.
They suggest starting with Six Sigma Green Belt, which really focuses on process improvement and waste reduction, a skill that is highly valued in any plant. Or if safety is your passion, Certified Safety Professional could be a good fit.
Okay.
And remember, many companies offer professional development programs and even financial assistance for certifications, so it's worth exploring those options.
That's a great tip.
Yeah.
So it's not just about personal investment.
Yeah,
Your company might be willing to support your growth.
absolutely.
Okay, let's say you've got the experience. You're pursuing certifications.
Right.
How do you really stand out from other candidates,
Right.
especially when you're applying for those more senior roles?
This is where showcasing your work becomes really crucial.
Okay.
RoleCatcher emphasizes creating a portfolio that highlights your achievements.
Okay.
So think successful projects, cost savings that you've achieved, safety improvements that you spearheaded,
Right.
sustainability initiatives that you championed. Don't just tell them what you've done, show them the impact that you've made.
So it's like a highlight reel of your career.
Exactly.
But what if you're not sure how to put together a portfolio, or
Yeah.
what kind of projects would be most impressive?
Well, think about the challenges that you faced, the solutions that you implemented, and the results that you achieved. Quantify your accomplishments whenever possible.
Okay.
Did you reduce costs by 10%?
Right.
Did you improve efficiency by 15%?
Right.
Did you lead a team that implemented a new process that significantly reduced waste?
Okay.
These numbers tell a really powerful story and include graphs, charts, or even photographs if they help to illustrate the impact of your work.
Okay. So you've got the skills, you've got the certifications, you've got this impressive portfolio. Is there anything else that can give you an edge in this competitive job market?
Networking.
Okay.
RoleCatcher emphasizes that building relationships is gold.
Okay.
Attending industry events, joining associations like AICE, remember the American Institute of Chemical Engineers?
Yes.
Tapping into online forums, reaching out to mentors. It's not just about who you know, it's about who knows you and your capabilities.
I think networking can sometimes feel intimidating, though.
Sure.
Do you have any tips on how to make it a little less daunting and more effective?
Well, be genuine, be curious, and really focus on building those relationships, not just collecting business cards.
Right.
Ask questions, listen actively, and share your own insights. And don't be afraid to reach out to people that you admire in the industry. You'd be surprised how many are willing to offer advice and guidance. Maybe you read an article by someone whose work you find interesting. Send them an email, let them know that you enjoyed their insights, and ask a thoughtful question related to their work.
Right.
You never know where a conversation like that might lead.
It's like tapping into this hidden network of knowledge and support.
It is.
But let's say you're at a conference. You're surrounded by all these industry experts.
Yeah.
How do you make a memorable impression without feeling like you're bragging?
Well, prepare a concise elevator pitch.
Okay.
This is a brief summary of your experience and your aspirations.
Okay.
Focus on your unique value proposition. What sets you apart from other chemical plant managers?
Right.
What are your passions? What are you looking to achieve?
Okay.
So, for example, you could say, I'm passionate about leading teams that prioritize both safety and sustainability. In my previous role, I spearheaded an initiative that reduced waste by 20% while also improving safety records. I'm always eager to learn about new technologies and best practices that can drive positive change in the industry.
So confidence, preparation, and authenticity.
Exactly.
Now, before we wrap up this part, let's circle back to RoleCatcher's AI tools and how they can help with these career-building strategies.
Of course, their CV and resume builder is incredible for tailoring your application to those specific job roles.
Right, and we talked about that a little bit earlier.
You upload your existing resume, and the AI will analyze it against that job description, suggesting improvements and highlighting relevant skills. It's like having a personal editor who knows exactly what those hiring managers are looking for.
That's amazing. So it's not just about writing a good resume, it's about writing the right resume for the specific job you want.
Exactly, and it goes beyond just keywords. The AI can analyze the tone and style of your writing, suggesting improvements to make your application more impactful and persuasive. It's like having a personal branding expert right in your pocket.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in this part. We've explored career progression, the importance of continuous learning, building that strong portfolio, and the power of networking.
We have.
And we've highlighted how RoleCatcher's AI tools can be really invaluable assets in navigating these career-building strategies.
For sure.
In the final part of our deep dive, we'll kind of bring it all together and discuss the most important qualities that will set you apart as a chemical plant manager.
Okay, sounds good.
Stay tuned for the exciting conclusion of our deep dive into becoming a successful chemical plant manager.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into the world of chemical plant managers. So we've covered those tough interview questions, explored some potential career paths, and even gotten a glimpse of kind of the future of the industry.
We have.
But now let's talk about what truly sets a chemical plant manager apart. Right. It's fascinating how this role goes beyond just technical know-how or management skills.
Right.
It's about leadership, the kind that inspires teams, fosters innovation, and drives success while upholding the highest standards of safety and sustainability.
So let's break that down. What are the key qualities that make a truly exceptional leader in this field?
Well, first and foremost, a deep understanding of chemical processes and technologies is crucial. This goes beyond textbook knowledge.
Right.
It's about having that practical experience, the ability to solve those complex problems, and a constant drive to stay ahead of the curve in a rapidly evolving industry.
So being technically savvy is just the foundation.
Yeah.
What else comes into play?
Well, strong leadership skills are absolutely essential. This
Okay.
includes effective communication, clear delegation,
Hmm.
and the ability to resolve conflicts constructively. It's about building trust and rapport with your team, fostering that culture of open communication and collaboration. A great chemical plant manager empowers their team to achieve their best even when facing challenges.
And I imagine in an environment with inherent risks, a strong commitment to safety is non-negotiable.
Absolutely. A true leader in this field understands that safety is paramount.
Okay.
It's not just about adhering to regulations, it's about cultivating a proactive safety culture where everyone feels empowered to identify and address potential hazards.
Right.
Leading by example, encouraging open communication about safety concerns,
Right.
and fostering that sense of shared responsibility are key.
So it's about creating an environment where safety is truly everyone's top priority.
Exactly. And in today's world, a genuine commitment to environmental sustainability is also crucial.
Okay.
A forward-thinking chemical plant manager understands that sustainability isn't just a trend, it's a responsibility.
So it's about finding ways to produce these essential chemicals while minimizing that environmental impact.
Precisely, this involves actively seeking ways to reduce waste, minimize emissions, and adopt cleaner technologies and processes. Think about exploring renewable energy sources, optimizing water usage, and implementing closed-loop systems to minimize waste generation.
Right.
It's about constantly looking for ways to improve the plant's environmental footprint.
It sounds like a successful chemical plant manager needs to be very comfortable with embracing new technologies and new ideas.
Absolutely. Adaptability and a willingness to embrace change are essential in such a dynamic industry. The chemical industry is constantly evolving with new technologies,
Right.
regulations, and market demands emerging all the time.
So being a lifelong learner is a must.
Exactly. A successful chemical plant manager needs to be curious,
Uh-huh.
eager to learn new things, and able to adapt quickly to changing circumstances. They also need to inspire their team to embrace this mindset of continuous improvement and innovation.
So it's not just about managing the present, but about really leading the charge toward a more sustainable and efficient future.
You got it. And remember, all of these qualities, the technical expertise, the leadership skills, the dedication to safety and sustainability and that adaptability, they all work together to create a really powerful force for positive change in the chemical industry.
This deep dive has been incredibly insightful. We've covered so much ground, from mastering those tough interview questions to understanding the core qualities of a truly exceptional chemical plant manager.
Absolutely. And if there's one key takeaway from this whole episode, it's this: becoming a chemical plant manager is more than just landing a job. It's about embracing a leadership role with the potential to make a real difference in a vital and evolving industry.
And for those who are ready to embark on this journey, remember that resources like RoleCatcher are there every step of the way.
Yes, their career guides, interview prep tools, and AI-powered insights can really provide a significant advantage, helping you to not only land the job, but thrive in your role and build a fulfilling career.
So go out there, ace those interviews, and make your mark on the world of chemical manufacturing.
You got this.
And that wraps up this episode of The Deep Dive. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep diving deep into that fascinating world around us.